On this episode of the FLG Golf Podcast, we're talking about one of golf's most timeless pairings, a good round of golf and a great cigar. There's something about a stroll down the fairway and the slow burn of a fine cigar that just works, and no one knows that better than today's guest, Dr. Brett Van Norman, cigar aficionado and the man who has taught me almost everything I know about cigars, but shows that I still have a lot more educating to do. Now, Brett is also a cigar aficionado, and he's taught me more about cigars over the years than any other source or resource. And he's got two beauties right here for us. And
I do.
Brett, will you take us through how to smoke a cigar?
Let's do it. Let's cut it up.
So you actually cut a lot of it. Like you're cutting most of the tip.
Yeah. And you just want to get the foot. Too many people go all over the place.
Yeah.
Just the outsides, if you can.
And I go straight at it, right?
Nope.
No, kind of on the side-ish.
No, you didn't
I
listen
fucked it
at all. That's exactly what you don't do.
That's brutal. So now, this is not the way to do it.
Here's what it's supposed to look like.
I got black all over the side. But you know what? It's on.
It'll
I have
smoke.
activated the cigar.
It'll smoke.
And is it like wine? Can you tell?
To some degree. So it is like wine. So it should age well. But it can go through what's called a sick period. So you kind of need to test it to know. And there's certain forums that you can look at and say, how's this box smoking now? And somebody can help you out with that. Because you don't want to get into a cigar and realize that it's just it's got about 3 years of being what's called sick, and it's just you need to let it go. You need to let it rest.
What does sick mean? Does it like
it kind of just changes
mold or
no? It just changes flavor profile. It doesn't taste fantastic at the moment. So there's some cigars that smoke amazing right out of the box, and there are some that just need some years. So typically the higher the quality of the cigar, the better it's going to age.
So what got you into cigars?
Well, it was about 2011, and I was working my balls off in the clinics, building them up, and I remember talking to my business partner. I'm like, why the hell am I doing this? Like, all I'm doing is working. So he's like, well, what's your hobby? I was like, well, right now, I don't have a hobby. It's like, well, I should figure it out. And then I knew I liked cigars, so I just started getting really deep into it.
It's not necessarily the cigar itself that you enjoy, even though there is flavor, but it is the mindfulness of being seated and smoking something or doing anything really that takes, 30 to 45 minutes, would you say?
Yeah, or longer. Yeah, I mean, you nailed it exactly, and that's why it really resonated. Is that with 3 kids, they're not coming out on the balcony with me when I'm having a cigar, so it was kind of just like my alone time. It was a sort of a form of meditation. So I had to stop, right? You have to stop, and you have to just sit. You have to take care of that cigar, and it's about 45 minutes, and some of them are an hour.
So we're maybe 4 or 5 minutes into this cigar, and I've collected a nice little ash burn here. Now, I don't knock this out, right?
Mm-mm.
If I need to put it down, the proper thing to do is just to place it on your tray and let the ash fall off. Or when I just see smokers, they see a little bit of ash, bang, it's gone, right?
Yeah. So you want to keep the cigar cool. And so how it stays cool is you keep the ash as long as we can and just take it slowly, and that keeps it cool as well. And then...
Would you say I need to slow down a little bit?
Yep. So remember, we talked about the cigar needing to stay cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the closer it gets to there, the hotter it's going to get. So you need to take it even slower as it gets closer to the bottom.
So it may burn out then.
Because if you fry a cigar, it could even be a full cigar. So if you take it too quickly and you inhale deeply instead of just kind of taking puffs, you could just cook it. So if you cook it, the whole flavor's it's gone.
So you've been observing me now for like 45 minutes or so. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right?
Look at the size of mine. See, mine's bigger.
It is.
That's what she said.
Like, I'm used to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What we have here, I don't know if you want to show, but this is an Asian Pacific regional. So 2011.
Speak up a little.
It is like one of my top favorite mild cigars.
Yeah, and you've punched it this time, I noticed.
I did for you.
Okay, now why? What's going to be
Because
different
you were
about
complaining
this?
last time.
Well, no, it's because I'm an idiot and I don't know the difference.
No real difference for smokability, basically, but just a preference. That's all.
Now, will you permit me to try, without guidance, lighting my own cigar?
Are you capable?
We're going to do dry run first. We go straight at it.
We do not.
We do not go straight at it. We go from the side. See,
You go
we're
from the
learning
side.
mechanism. We go from the side, and we just sort of, we don't do the sides. We do the edges, right? We just sort of burn.
I thought we were doing this without me helping.
Okay, I need you to do it then. There's so much pressure. So much pressure with
Well,
that.
these are good cigars.
I know.
Don't fuck them up. All right. Here we go. Watch.
Okay.
So, see that angle?
Okay, it's about a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
You're sort of pointing
I'm
towards
toasting.
the outside.
This is called the foot, right? So I'm toasting the foot, but I'm concentrating on the edges here.
Yeah.
See that?
Okay,
See that?
I do.
All right. That's about perfect.
Okay. Mark's going to give it a try. Is that good?
Yeah. Just keep going though. Don't stay there. You're missing a point. You're missing a part. Yeah. Yeah. Should be about good.
So how do I know when to stop?
Stop.
How do I
Okay.
know?
Because it's smoking.
Okay.
Take a puff because you need to start it. Okay. You're not there. This is painful. All right. Try it. Stop. Okay. Okay. Should be good. Just slow down. Slow down.
Okay. So this cigar here, which is a Oliva, I really enjoyed. You gave this to me the last time that we played golf, which is, I think,
Great.
the great thing.
Now I just shot myself in the foot there, didn't I?
It's the great thing about playing golf with someone who doesn't typically smoke cigars.
Right.
You get to bring the dregs of your stash out to the course, and then I think that they're fancy and that you like me.
Exactly. That's exactly why I do it.
Now, we played a course called Palm Springs in Malaysia, and what they have at Palm Springs is they have these incredible pencils. And the pencils that you get for your scorecard actually hold the cigar. Wow. Isn't that brilliant? What do you think about this? Sticking a cigar into your spider putter where it would hold it quite nicely there. This is not a bad idea, actually. It looks badass, does it not? Not a big fan. Do you prefer any other cigars aside from Cuba?
There is one particular brand. The Libya brand is basically the one that you had, is a decent brand for Nicaraguan. The other top tier brand is Patron. So basically out of all the non-Cubans, that's one of the top, if not the top. Besides a Dunhill, you've heard that name before.
Yeah.
So there's the pre-embargo Dunhills, which are Cuban. And then once the embargo came in, they went to Nicaragua. But by far my favorites are the Cubans. Like, they're just typically more mild.
So, the history of smoking on professional golf tours. It's evolved over the years, obviously. In the early years, which is like pre-20th century, sort of mid-20th century, it was very common, as it was for everybody, to be smoking at all times. So legends like Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, were known to smoke while playing.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes, yes. In the 2000s, while professional golf, it's never really fully banned smoking, it has become increasingly rare.
My whole thing with this is it's getting banned everywhere.
What places can you smoke now, right? Yeah.
Exactly. It used to be in Singapore, it was very, very easy just to get to a patio and have a smoke and have a cigar.
Now you have to stand in a very small yellow square next to a trash can.
They're non-existent, right? So you're going to a cigar bar, or you're going on the golf course, or you're going on a balcony, right? So if they ban it on fucking golf courses, like, where are you supposed to go? Who is the Spanish golfer? He's senior now.
Yeah. Miguel
Yep,
Angel
there it is.
Jimenez, right?
Yep.
And they're like, if you Google cigar and golfer, you're going to basically see pictures of him smoking on a golf course. Arnold Palmer and Ben Hogan, and
Beauty.
Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. Like, there's also a really badass photo of Jack. I think it's 1976 or 79 in his green jacket at the Masters.
Wow.
Just holding a cigarette. I wish that was a cigar, but it's not, unfortunately. Other cigar,
Don't even recognize this guy.
Yeah, other cigar smokers that would be famous on tour, we go Darren Clark. So Darren Clark, the famous British golfer,
Okay.
in his younger years, definitely. Always known for holding a stogie. And in his later years, though, he would switch to sort of more traditional nicotine, right? Doing some cigarettes. This is a bold move. I don't know if this is ever in the cards for you as you approach your later retirement years, but the pipe.
I have one. If you ever want to try?
What do you put in it?
It's another crazy world. It's a whole other world.
You would need to complete the ensemble, of course, with some Argyle socks, maybe a blazer and a necktie, and of course John Daly. But the thing about Big John is that he has a brand of cigars, but that's really not his preferred method of smoking. So you can see here back in the early 90s when he's in his Reebok days, like this is kind of one of the most iconic photos of him. That massive overswing, the mullet and shaved sides, like under mullet, call it an undercut mullet, the under mullet with the dart hanging out. Hadn't lit it yet, but he's getting there.
I've never seen him without a gut. It's amazing.
Those are the 90s. This is more like what he looks like now, sort of the Santa Claus of golf.
Yeah.
This is Charlie Hall. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but she is
looks pretty fucking hot.
They call her the Smoke Show for a couple of reasons. I think it's actually because she smokes. I don't know if there's any other reason to call this lady a Smoke Show.
I wonder
why. She's a little bit more muted now because every time she does it, she basically goes viral. And she vapes sometimes. And actually, she says that she started smoking again to reduce the amount that she was vaping, which I guess that makes sense to some people. To others, it may not. But I'll never forget the first time I ever actually saw smoking live on a course was during the U.S. Open. I forget what year. This is Angel Cabrera. And he's coming down 17, and I'm watching this tournament, and he just fires up a heater. And I'm like, is this even allowed? Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And
his caddy.
Yeah, and he eventually wins this U.S. Open, and I think he was fighting off Tiger Woods. There's this great moment at the end. We can't forget probably one of the most famous smoking and golf moments in cinema.
Cannonball.
Cannonball coming.
Cannonball coming.
It is believed in some circles that the reason that golfers only wear one glove is because golf is an inherently social game, often including smoking or consuming of a beverage of some kind. And if you're wearing two gloves, obviously, which would improve your grip overall, you're going to get the other one wet with the moisture from your drink, or it's going to come down to your fingers, and the oils from the cigar are going to kind of stain your glove, the leather. Unfortunately, it is actually not true